Africa. It's part of a vast continent of diverse people, stunning vistas and unique wild animals. All this lay before us. It was a journey that began half a day away in Hong Kong. From the Far East, we would venture southwest, a direct flight on board South Africa's national carrier. This was our first taste of the land up ahead, South Africa's award-winning wines. Through the night and into dawn, over a rugged landscape, Wilbur Smith firing my imagination for wild terrain and frontier adventure. From Johannesburg, it was straight on to Cape Town, a new day with the sun shining on our final touchdown. Cape Town's often been called one of the world's most beautiful cities. When Portuguese sailor Bartolomeu Dias became the first European to round and then name the Cape of Good Hope in 1487, he came face to face with a stunning shoreline, flanked by the flat-topped Table Mountain. By the 16th century, the British were battling the Dutch for control of this prime location. The Dutch East India Company built a base here for its ships, and Cape Town flourished in the shadow of its mountain. On many days, there's only one cloud over Cape Town, and it's this one, right over the top of Table Mountain. It's caused when the hot air from the city rushes up to meet the cold air above. And what do they call this cloud? Well, the tablecloth. The British took the Cape in 1806. Today, a new democratic South Africa prepares for an invasion of tourists. The colonial past remains in the stately buildings. European influences in the busy downtown. The church where Archbishop Desmond Tutu preached against apartheid. Contrasts in the colourful buildings of the Cape Malays, the ancestors of slaves brought from Asia until the trade was abolished in 1808. City Hall and the balcony where Nelson Mandela made his freedom speech after decades in jail. Times have changed in South Africa. On Cape Town's Victoria and Alfred waterfront, tourists and local people mingle to enjoy the restaurants, the cafes and the shopping. South Africa's famous diamonds are difficult to resist.
It's still a girl's best friend, indeed.
Downtown, I made a friend for life.
There you are, that's a 10 carat.
Look at that.
You like that?
Do you take instalments? Like over the next 20 years?
It's a piece of industrial diamond, and that's gemstone quality.
And the glittering end result. Sparkling on the waterfront, our next point of call, the Table Bay Hotel. Built in the Victorian style and filled with artists' impressions of Cape Town's seafaring past.
When you walk into the hotel, and I think the architects were very clever, because as you walk into the hotel, you hit by this absolutely incredible view of Table Mountain.
That's the first thing you notice, actually, that wonderful view outside the windows there.
It is, it's really lovely. And the Victorian Alfred waterfront, as it's named, this was the first harbour in Cape Town.
From our vantage point here, we could see that the table had been cleared. Time to scale new heights. The 1,086-metre cable car ride up Table Mountain takes about 6 minutes. If you're wary of heights, definitely don't peer down. From the top, though, you can't decide where to look next. long did that take you?
About 2.5, 3 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Gee, we did it in 6 minutes.
Cheated there.
We're doing that on the way down. You take it for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you live in the one of the most beautiful places, and then you see this mountain every day of your life, and you never do anything about it. It's the most amazing feeling to be up there, see them down there.
Our cue to catch the last cable car back down. From here, we continued our journey around South Africa's stunning coastline. This beautiful spot is known as North Corner Beach. It's quite famous for its horse breeding, and it was here that most of the movie Ryan's Daughter was filmed.
South African art.
What can you expect on South Africa's most southeasterly point? Well, some beachcombing ostriches and a lot more. Behind me is one of the most famous spots in the world. It's the Cape of Good Hope. It is a gateway between west and east. And if you know a little bit about history, you'll know that for centuries it's been the route that privateers, adventurers, sailors of all kinds have taken from Europe to India in search of that precious commodity, spice. And what a treacherous journey it was. It's estimated that around 2,500 ships have been lost along this coastline, the most recent in 1964. Then it was up to the lighthouse lookout to meet some fellow explorers from the east.
I am from Hong Kong.
What do you think of Cape Point here?
Oh, it's nice, fantastic scenery here. Yeah, very nice.
The tides turn, but from up here you can understand why over the centuries countless travellers have been driven to these windswept shores.